Okay, we are live with session 39 of Adventures in Emathan. Welcome, gentlemen. We will get started as we normally do with some character introductions. Who is chomping at the bit to go first tonight?
Egan is. Yeah, I knew it.
All right,
All
Egan.
right. All right. I play Douglan, Douglan McKayne. He's a seventh level paladin, Oath of the Protector. And I had a revelation, right? It just came to me, and a little birdie told me that paladins can prepare their spells like clerics every day. So he's going to pray to Gath, and he's going to hopefully be given a new magic power. Well, it's a spell called Magic Weapon, because the last time we faced the undead, unless he smite that undead, not much happened. So he's going to put that, well, at least for the next few days, into his bag of tricks. So yes, for all of you Paladin players out there, if you didn't know yet, you can change your spells daily praying to your deity.
Groovy.
Sweet.
Max?
All right. I play Kogaan Dremnaufinstrunmah, which means peace on the mountain, if you didn't know that. And he's a Dragonborn Rune Knight fighter. And when we hit 7th level, one of the abilities a Rune Knight fighter gets is Runic Shield. And so that allows when a creature you can see within 60 feet is hit by an attack, you can use a reaction to force a re-roll, and the attacker must use the new roll on that attack. So pretty handy for some clutch saves and stuff like that. Or if someone gets hit with a crit, you could most likely negate that crit. And yeah, it's a very sweet ability. So
I think you used that in the battle against the
yeah,
Death Kisses, right?
yeah, I've used it a couple times
Yeah.
now.
Yes,
It's
you
really,
did.
you get to use it as many times as equal to your proficiency bonus and recharges on a long rest. So it's pretty handy. Rune Knight's really cool. It's got a good blend of like offensive and defensive stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Excellent.
yeah.
No rule concerns from last session. I think everything ran pretty smoothly, so we will move right into our session recap from session 38. And of course, no recap is complete without some recap music. All right. So, as the last session began, the sun was high in the sky on the 38th day of the first Trigon of Elok's influence. The Stargazer had just docked in the quiet harbor of Lyelion, the party and crew still reeling from the unexpected encounter with the Githyanki, where they were acutely aware of the pressing questions their appearance in Emathan had raised, but for now their focus was on the urgent task of aiding Fariedah and in turn Dragonkind itself. The party disembarked from the skyship and made their way to Fariedah's home. Her reaction was a mix of shock and relief at their unexpected arrival. As Douglan presented countersign to her, a wave of emotion washed over her, realizing that her life's work was about to reach a critical juncture. They were about to embark on a journey to the Sill, a journey that could change everything. Fariedah asked the party to meet her in the morning so that she would have time to attune to the staff's power. The party then headed to the local inn, the Dancing Dryad, to enjoy an evening of much-needed rest and recuperation. The next morning, Fariedah and the party headed into the caverns below Lyelion with two members of the local guard known as the Hidden. Arriving at the Order of the Gate's most powerful relic, Fariedah planted countersign before the gate and began to manipulate its power to open a portal to the Sill. Fariedah suddenly called out with concern that something was trapped inside of the gate and was now coming through. As the party turned towards the gate, two strange creatures emerged and immediately attacked. The creatures, blobbish orbs with 10 riddling tentacles, launched themselves at the party with a ferocity that was both terrifying and awe-inspiring. They grappled with the party members, their tentacles leaving deep, bloody wounds. Just as the creatures seemed to be gaining the upper hand, Kogaan, with a surge of rune magic, was able to stun one of the two creatures. This was the turning point in the battle, and soon the creatures lay on the ground, their once menacing forms now lifeless piles of oozing flesh. Fariedah, with a determined look in her eyes, returned to countersign. After a brief moment, the gate pulsed, revealing a portal to the sill. The time had come to step into the dragon afterlife, the very heart of dragon life force in this world. With a mixture of anticipation and trepidation, Fariedah and the party stepped through the portal, finding themselves standing before a colossal crystal dragon in a world their minds had trouble comprehending. The dragon introduced itself as Ak, the guardian and guide of the sill. Ak told the party of how, during the last gathering, it was momentarily weakened by a large influx of dragon life force into this world as the rifts opened into other dragon worlds. During this moment of weakness, Ak was visited by a being who called itself Ordite. Ordite told Ak that the time of dragons needed to come to an end. They did not fit into the greater plan. Without warning, black energy shot forth from Ordite and entered into Ak, knocking him unconscious. When Ak recovered, Ordite was gone. Ak felt fine after the encounter and did not think much more of it. But over the years since the encounter, Ak has been growing increasingly weakened. They are now aware that something is trying to possess and control them. It is taking more and more of their energy and focus to fight it off. Energy and focus that they would normally use to send dragon life force back to live another life. Ak asked the party's help to remove whatever was trying to possess it. They asked the party return to Emathan and seek counsel with one of the ancients. When dragons have gathered enough knowledge and wisdom through the different lives they have lived, they become ancients. As ancients, they remember all that they have learned through all of their lives. They were likely the only ones who would understand the situation enough to properly advise the party on a solution. The party agreed to help and returned through the portal. Once on the surface, it was agreed that Fariedah and the party would depart at once for Kogaan's village, where they would be able to travel to consult with Hanuziak about the situation with Ak and the sill. As today's session begins, it is early afternoon on the 39th day of the first Trigon of Elok's influence. The day is dark and heavily overcast, with an icy wind blowing a storm in from the northwest. Douglan and Kogaan are standing at the docks in Lyelion, waiting for Fariedah to join them. A commotion towards the east catches your attention. A dozen or so riders approach on horseback at full gallop. They are Vanguard.
Douglan gets out his Vanguard badge.
Starter kit.
No, he's got something that says he's a man. I think it's like an honorary.
Yeah,
something.
you guys have medallions that make you honorary captains. Any questions, clarifications?
That was
I don't think
beautiful.
so. How long would you say we spent in the sill?
I mean, you guys didn't really gauge that much, but it felt like next to no time whatsoever. You were obviously in there some short period of time, because when you emerged, the two hidden were fighting the creepy crawlies, but it did not seem like you were in there very long.
Okay. No weird time warpy kind of things.
No
going
weird
on.
time warpy thing. No.
Okay. Cool. That's all.
I see Fariedah is still pretty beat up, but she's not around, right?
She's prepping to leave.
She's prepping to leave. She said she needed a couple of hours to get her things together to depart.
Okay.
And now we have
galloping up on
couple
horses.
of Vanguard approaching.
Roll initiative.
Yes, absolutely. They are done with you, honorary captains.
It's a fake badge.
Honor this, motherfucker.
So they are clearly riding towards the docks. And they arrive, stopping, 10 feet or so away. The person that you sort of immediately identify is likely the captain, dismounts and walks over to the two of you standing, at the end of the... And just for clarification, the Stargazer is docked here in Lyelion. It's not particularly busy, so you're actually able just to walk right on and off of the ship.
And,
so the
and
ship
it's
is
in
right
water, right?
It is in water,
Yeah.
They tend to do that to reduce the amount of people oogling the ship as it comes in all the time. The Vanguard captain walks up to you and he kind of looks the two of you over and he says, "If my intel is correct, I do believe that you two would be honorary captains Douglan and Kogaan. Is this correct?"
Yes, that's true.
At your service.
Greetings.
Who am I addressing?
My name is Captain Fabian, and I run the outpost for the Vanguard in this area. We received information that has led us to believe that your ship, the Stargazer, was involved in a skirmish with the Githyanki. Is this correct?
Yes.
You have the right of it?
It is true. They were riding wyverns, and they attacked us.
Nasty wyverns. But they said something very interesting. It was almost like they were looking for something else. It's right in the midst. Quite frankly, I think they had us. They buggered off.
This would be consistent. This would be consistent with the information that we have received from two other attacks that have happened during this Trigon. There are several strange facts about the attacks. First of all, the Githyanki left survivors in each of the attacks. They did not seem, which would be normally the Githyanki way as we understand it, to slaughter everyone in their wake. It would seem that they wanted these attacks to be known. Can you confirm the direction they departed in after the attack?
Well, we were heading...
Well, of course we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were in the air.
Perhaps Captain Murphy's.
Yeah, Captain Murphy's better for sure.
You guys know they flew north. If you remember, the one Githyanki dove over the edge. All the wyverns dove, collected him, and then they departed towards the north.
Let me just rack my brain real quick here. North. Definitely north.
was
I remember it
definitely
like
north.
it was the back of my hand. Oh, what's that?
We are trying to locate the Githyanki base of operations, as unfortunately we feel it is not too far from this area. My ask of you is, should you have another encounter, if it would be at all possible and not put you in harm's way, to try and make a determination of exactly where they are returning to after these attacks. Yours is the first aerial attack that we are aware of. As you know, the ship, the Summer Wind, the sky ship, the Summer Wind, makes regular trips to Lyelion as part of its route around the wilds. And as such, we have concern that they may fall to one of these attacks in the future. Now, Douglan, you mentioned something about the Summer Wind?
Yeah, strangely they are like talking to each other, and we understood that they said this isn't the summer wind, and they, as I said, buggered off as if they were looking specifically for it. Um, Captain Fabian, you mean to tell me the Gith physically are here in the wilds?
Unfortunately, yes, Captain Douglan. It would appear that, for reasons we have no comprehension of at this time, they have made their way from the Between and are now, at least in this region of Emathan, beginning attacks upon people. As
Douglan.
I'm sure you are aware, there is great concern of a connection between the Dooms and the Githyanki.
Indeed, I am.
And as such, this is why we are investigating this situation.
Does this mean they have come through one of the gates somewhere?
Could be no other way through those blasted dooms.
Because you know how you and your family would meet routinely with the Githindor. So maybe the Dooms have their own gate meeting places with the
I'm afraid
Githyanki.
that may be the case. But you remember they came through and attacked, so they have a means to do it. I just did not think they had actually a presence here, other than from time to time through a portal. But if they've got a base of operations here, that's no good.
Hmm. So, sir, what would you like us to do with this information?
Should you collect any information that you think would be of value to us in our search for the Githyanki, our base of operations is just an hour east of Lyelion. You will see it. It is right on the shores of the Midnight Depths.
Is the Summer Wind due here soon? Do they need an escort to their next place, maybe? Or
The Summer Wind has been made aware of the situation with the Githyanki in this area, and for now has chosen to avoid Lyelion until we can determine exactly what the nature of an attack against that ship would be.
sounds very wise.
Well then,
Okay.
gentlemen, I will not waste any more of your time today, and I thank both of you, and look forward to any information you may be able to share with us in the future. Winter is coming to the wilds, and things will get incredibly more difficult, but it will allow us to travel the ice and increase our search area once the lake has frozen over.
So you think that these because the Gith have access to flying, but you feel that they are somewhere located in the wilds here?
We do. Based on this, yours being the third attack in a Trigon, we do have reason to believe that, at the very least temporarily, they have taken up somewhere here in this area.
Okay, understood. We'll
So
keep our eyes open.
with that, the captain gives you a nod, and he returns to his horse, and the patrol heads off into Lyelion, now at more of a trot, heading in towards the town center. And you see Fariedah making her way down. She is carrying countersign. She feels the safest place it can be is with the three of you. And then she just has a bag of belongings. She arrives at the docks. Well, I do believe I'm ready to depart. Time is of the essence, and as we have spoken with before, we should depart as soon as possible.
Very good. Well, I am ready. Douglan, are you ready to head out?
Yeah, you could tell he was like kind of just thinking about the news he just heard, and yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
Douglan.
yes, lad. Let's go.
What is troubling you?
When did they set up a base here? When they're here, Kogaan.
Yes,
And Emathan. That does not bode well.
it doesn't bode well, but it is when you think about your own contacts with the Githintor and how some of them have even taken up at your winery. It is not surprising to me that the same thing has happened with our enemies. So, but it is unfortunate for sure.
Indeed.
Well, let's get on board and get moving, and we can discuss more about what we should be thinking of next, I suppose.
Yeah, let's go. Fariedah, how you feeling?
I'm good. I've never been on a skyship before, so I'm a bit nervous, really.
Oh, it is okay. It is quite steady and secure, and even though we've been attacked many times, we've always come out on top.
You've been attacked many times?
Yes, but don't worry, we do a very good job, and you are a very powerful magic user yourself, so you'll be a welcome addition. Maybe no fireballs on deck, but it is.
And stay away from the edge.
That
If
sounded
you get
nice.
attacked. Yeah. Kogaan, perhaps you'd like to take her to the bow, and you can show her around the ship.
Sure, I don't understand what that gesture was, but I could show her around.
When you went up there and you felt like you were flying, like you put your hands out like that, and the wind was blowing. Well, you don't have hair, but
No, I
it was
don't.
blowing in your scales. You look so happy.
Yes, I think you will enjoy it, Fariedah. And we don't get attacked every day, so we will probably be okay. Probably.
Every other trip, 50-50.
I guess I'll just have to get used to this. I've kind of lived a bit of a sheltered existence between here and Windrest, but yes, I'm ready for the adventure. Then let's get on with it.
Okay.
You all board the Stargazer. After a bit of a discussion between Kogaan and the captain, Captain Murfitz, describing where it is that you will need to be off to next. Gentlemen, if you have your Emathan map handy,
I do.
you will see I have added a pin kind of in the mountain range towards the northwest region.
That's the spot.
It is the area that is Kogan's home.
Near it, anyways. Technically, that's Salt's Pride.
Oh, but it's in there, in the mountains.
Yeah, it's in the mountains there, yeah.
All right, and so the ship departs. It'll take you a day and a bit to make your way to. Why don't you say it for us so we actually hear how it's pronounced properly?
Oh, sure.
I've been working on it. I got Hofkeen say you von Luke.
Close. Hofkeen say you von Luke.
You von Luke. That, you know what? I didn't kill it, so that's good. I'm getting better.
So
at
like
this
O's
Dragonborn.
are drawn out. They're always like, you always say the O as O, the long form.
It's O, yo.
Yeah.
Like you're breathing a fire weapon breath.
Say you von Luke. Yep. We're going to Hofkeen say you von Luke, and that is my hometown, Douglan. It is called in common home of the golden sky. So you can just call it Golden Sky if you want to. It's no problem. Everyone will know what you're saying. You know, Draconic language is full of many what is the word? Syllables. So it can be difficult for many people to speak. So yes, Golden Sky.
I'm looking forward to it, lad. Any other pointers of things, proper etiquette? Should I don't even know where to begin.
I think, Douglan, that people will just like you because you are an open and honest person, and you are generally kind, and that is pretty much the people of my village. So
I can do that.
And you like hot springs, so you will love it here. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like we'll find one that is safe
out.
for humanoids. So
that's not gonna roast
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, wait. Let's go.
Yes.
All right. The trip to Golden Sky is uneventful, and Fariedah determines that she rather likes traveling by skyship. It is very smooth and quiet. The view is fantastic, and Kogan has a fantastic nest that she's been able to share.
Yeah,
so
finally,
this traveling by skyship stuff is all right. A day or so later. Sorry, did somebody have something they wanted to add there?
I do. I just wanted to speak with Douglan for a second during the trip.
Absolutely.
Douglan, it occurs to me that I was so wrapped up in the meeting with Ak and what's happening with the seal that I didn't even ask anything about some of the other troubles we are facing. And Ak seemed like they could be full of such knowledge, and I just wanted to apologize because I didn't ask anything about the other gates that and the vision we had of the doom of like things that could be coming through a gate in the future. Like there's all these impending problems, and I just wasn't thinking about any of it when it happened.
There's no need to apologize, lad. I mean, you were in the presence of even I felt it. I was almost brought to my knees with the power that I was feeling in there. So, no, lad, we were here for you and for your Golden Sky home see if we
Well,
can't fix that. So don't worry, we'll find a way. But thank you for thinking about it after. No worries.
yes. Well, I mean, we will have to probably go back there. So, hopefully, if everything turns out well, we'll be able to seek more answers for the other problems we are facing.
Mhm.
So,
Well,
it,
also too, hopefully we can and fix Ak, right? Isn't she um like there's something wrong, right? Something inside her.
yeah. So, Ark is, I've come to learn that dragonkind, we are reincarnated. Um, we always suspected that that true dragons or even a dragon kind could be reincarnated as a true dragon someday. That is a great wish. But now it seems that dragon kind choose different lives for themselves as they pass. So I could have been a true dragon at one point in my many lifetimes, I suppose. It is very overwhelming to think about because all I think of myself is just Kogaan, the Dragonborn, who grew up in Hovkin Seyuvonok. Um, but yes, so Ak is important because they help guide and I suppose transfer dragon souls to new lives. So with them being corrupted like this, that's no longer happening. And that is why we're not having any or any new dragon births of any kind anymore. So
See, don't sell yourself short, lad. You got the heart of a dragon.
oh well, thank you.
Maybe not the body yet, but you got the heart.
I'm working on getting the size there, you know.
You're almost there.
If
Indeed.
only for a short amount of time. I
That's all
feel
right. Came in handy last fight. That's for sure. Oh, and speaking of which, thank you a lot. I was down and out.
Oh, well, Douglan, I mean, you had my back when we were in the old mage um headquarters, right? With the undead. I would have been almost helpless there. So we make up for each other's weaknesses with our own strengths. So
Speaking of which, um, has there been an evening or are we it's the same day that we're traveling?
it's a day and a half travel, you said.
It's
Okay.
a day and a bit. One
So
day,
it's an
6 hours.
overnighter.
Yep, it's
Got
an
it.
overnighter.
So no, I'm just gonna so speaking of which, lad, when we were fighting them undead, I noticed that we were having trouble making them feel it, except for when I called down Gath for a little bump, if you will. But
Mm-hmm.
so I asked her if there was something else that can be done, and she graced me with some options. So just know next time we run across something that needs a little bit more, if you will, I might be able to bless your weapon or mine depending on the situation. So uh yeah, she's given me all the tools I need. So just keep that in mind.
That sounds great. Your God is wonderful.
Indeed.
So the day goes without incident. You make very good time ahead of this storm that was kind of brewing as you were waiting to dock. It's pushed you along nicely. You arrive coming into the little village. It is sort of early evening. Kogan, you're watching from the bow, giving some additional direction. It is getting dark. Winter time is coming. Dark comes quicker. As you get close to where you feel the village would be, you find, Kogan, that it is surprisingly well lit. Out of what you would call expected for your village. There are definitely additional fires that are burning throughout the village, making it very easy in the dimming light to find your way there. The captain approaches the village, bringing the ship down, down, down until you come to a stop just outside of your village.
Mm-hmm.
There is a large group of people with torches and such. Looks like just about the entire village is walking towards the ship. Leading them is Vuvanzen?
Yeah, all this stuff. Vuvazen.
Vuvazen?
Yeah,
Your
Vuvazen.
mentor?
Yeah.
She
I've only
is...
been gone for a few weeks, technically, right? How long would you say I've been gone for? A month?
Well, because you were out searching for the group for a while.
That's right.
Yeah, so you've been gone a couple of Trigon.
And a Trigon is
It's a 4 10 days is a Trigon.
Okay, so
Yeah,
40
so
days. Oh yeah, so a good
about 80
two and a half-
days.
2.5
80
Earth
days.
months.
Yeah. Yeah. So you've been gone a little while.
Okay.
And now the ship is down and they've got the cargo net over the side so you can all disembark.
How long has it been, lad?
Oh, it has been, I suppose, a couple of Trigons. So maybe I will disembark first. And so I'll yell out in Draconic, like, good evening. And then I'll just kind of like poke my head over the bow and then just like leap down.
There's a huge cheer erupts from everybody. Vovanzen approaches ahead of the group, and she comes up. She kind of grabs your arm. She looks you right in the eye, Kogaan, and she says, Hanuziak told me you were coming.
Hanuziak spoke with you as well?
He spoke with me in a dream, but we can speak of its details. Your family is desperately waiting to speak with you.
With me? Oh, I must say, I am very happy to be back. It has been so long, and I miss everyone and the hot springs and the spicy food. Food back on the mainlands it's okay, but there's a lot of variety and stuff, but it lacks a certain special punch. But anyways, yes. Oh, before we go, you should meet my new best friend. His name is Douglan, and he is a very, very wise and powerful warrior. And we've been on many adventures. He's almost as old as you. So I give him great respect.
I also jump, but chances are I tweak a knee, trying to look
You did a
cool.
superhero landing, but not
Yeah.
on purpose. It's because you're like, oh.
And now I'm gritting it. Hello,
Douglan,
I'm
this is
Douglan.
Vuvazen. She was my mentor. She was a part of raising me and taught me the arts of rune carving that I perform.
I put my hand to my chest and I bow.
So, Max, give us a little description of Golden Sky.
Sure. So for walking, we're kind of like outside the town. I guess it's kind of dusk at this point. So since we're up in the mountains, that would be quite dark because the sun maybe hasn't set yet. But if you think of the horizon that a mountain range would have, you know what I mean? It's basically setting. So I suppose if we walk in, there's all these like torches and fires lit. It's gonna have this sort of small mountain town kind of feel. It's gonna have almost a festive sort of feel with all these torches lit. Everything's sort of like rustic. Definitely, there's not a lot of traditional like city stonework that you might be used to seeing. Lots of wooden houses and things. But everywhere you can see like steam rising from pockets all over the place. There's tons of hot springs. In fact, most communities, like most homes, are like built on the outskirts of a hot spring. So it's almost like each home's bath kind of thing. But
Mhm.
they're quite extensively large homes. You'd have like extended families living with each other. You know what I mean? It's kind of very like familial, traditional kind of culture.
Multiple generations in a single
Yeah.
home. Right.
A lot of the businesses, they're not like your traditional business because again, it's this place is kind of isolated from the rest of Emathan mostly. Like they will go down to uh what's called Salt's Pride, which is the town on the edge of the inland sea there to like trade and stuff like that. So you'll see like a lot of like open sort of shops, you know what I mean? Like not really much for walls, it's just kind of like covers and stuff. Um and same like what would be considered a school, even though not kind of not as well populated these days. I don't know, Colin, what would you think would be like the youngest kids would be at this point, like 10 maybe or something?
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
probably problem's been going on for a little while,
Yep.
but same thing,
I mean,
open structure.
occasionally, a a dragon's life force does
Yeah,
get, like, because Ak is still trying
yeah,
to be their guide, but he's getting increasingly weak and sick, and his energy is being put towards. So occasionally, dragons are still
yeah.
appearing in the world, but it's just less and less.
The fail rate's pretty high.
Pretty high.
But yeah, just think like multi-tiers, lots of like winding like stairs that are like cut into like mountain, like this sort of almost like not quite like a bowl, but like just this sort of like sunken in setting, like
Mhm.
surrounded by these like high mountains and stuff like that. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like if you were hiking up, coming up the trail that would like lead to this place, you would have no idea that there's a town here until you finally got up the last crest and was able to like kind of like look down into this area kind of thing. So
Kind of just
Is it
down
like
in a
Machu
valley sort
Picchu?
of thing.
yeah, yeah. So very cool.
Excellent.
Beautiful.
So Kogon, you meet with your family. They can't wait any longer. They've
Hmm.
been as patient as they can. Um, they have prepared a big banquet celebration, knowing that your arrival was there. Of course, as they would in the village, everyone has chipped in for this celebration. I'm assuming there's some sort of communal building
Oh yeah,
where
for
where
sure.
people sit and listen to the elders, that sort of thing.
This
So
the
there's
ski lodge.
yeah, there's a
Kind of like
big.
in
Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say, like, like in Norse culture, they've got like the long hut, and
Yeah,
it's
Yeah.
like that's like the town hall kind of idea.
yeah,
This
the meeting
huge.
place for
Yeah,
everything, sort of thing.
there'd totally be a something like that as
Yeah,
well.
so that's all set up. They got like a pumping DJ. No, just kidding.
Someone on drums. Yeah.
And yeah, so there is, you are all a part of, they invite everyone from the ship to come and join the celebration. Of course, there's minimal crews stay on board to, but everybody else is in town. From our conversations, Max, I feel like this dragonborn society does not have alcohol a part of its
No,
traditions.
it's not.
So it's a little weird for all the non-dragonborn folk. They're like, drinking the cold teas and the hot teas and the, but there's this big celebration going on. So now, if there's any conversations that you want to partake during the celebration,
So I'd be talking like with Captain Murfitts for sure, and Douglan and like Broca and Lyda and stuff. And just being like, as we're like feasting and eating and stuff, like I don't want to sound uh like self-important, but it has been this is very rare to bring non-dragonborn people into our village. So I hope that you feel very honored to be here, because it means very much to my people to allow you. not that we don't want people here, but just for safety over the generations, it's kind of become a part of our way. But yes, so if you get asked questions that might normally seem kind of rude or a little bit too personal back in on the mainland, just remember that it is just they are wanting to understand and get to know you better. Um, yes, there are differences, but there are similarities for our cultures for sure.
Douglan's going
I
to look
can
at
see
Lyda.
one of
Hmm.
the younglings to walk up to Lyda. Excuse me. Um, what's wrong with you? Did your scales fall off?
Yeah.
Why does your hair look like that? Did you get scared?
Lyda, I've been telling you the same thing. What's wrong with you? Hey, Lyda, behave, huh?
Oh,
We're
they're so
honored guests
cute.
here.
Don't worry about it. Yes,
All right,
my scales fell off,
play
and it's
nice.
very cold now. As the evening is progressing, um, Vuvanzen takes Kogan aside for a little walk, and she says, "Kogan,
Mm,
in my dream, Panuziak said that you needed to visit with him. Is this correct?"
yes, teacher, there is very much that I have to tell you. Um, Fariedah, the silver dragonborn who is with us, she is a very wise and powerful magic user, and that staff that she has, we used to go to the sill. Do you know what the sill is?
I do believe I understand that this is where dragons, the soul of a dragon, goes to when it departs this world. It has several names that I have used for it, but or that I've heard used for it, but the sill is the most common one.
Yes. So we went there, and
You
when
see the look on her face when you say you went there is like, you what?
yes, we went there, and uh, we met with uh, the, there's a dragon creature there, almost like a type of demigod, perhaps, uh, named Ak. And it is there that Ak will help dragon souls move on to a new life. So when we thought that, you know, our in our culture that we could die and potentially um, become true dragons someday, it is in fact that all dragonkind are intermixed in some way. Our souls and spirits. We may have been dragons before, or true dragons, or maybe not yet, but we can go either way. I was told that I have been to the seal many times, and that I, as Kogan now, don't am unable to recall such things, but someday when I pass, that I will go there again and remember all the lives I have experienced. And so the same is for you, Vuvazan, and all dragonkind. So that is why, and then I'll explain everything about like Ak getting sick from this like creature Ordite and like just the craziness that's going on and why like we've been having trouble in the village with clutches and like it's beyond just the village and it's this huge thing.
Vuvazen is quiet, um, obviously trying to process all of the things that you have just told her. And Kogon, this is a lot to take in. Um,
Yes.
it does explain then why Hanuziak explain to me where you need to go to find him?
Okay, yes. Because we know that, or we understand that he's somewhere in the mountain range here, but do not know exactly where. And Hanusiak told you how to get there?
Yes, it is understandably a region of the mountains that is extremely difficult to get into.
Mm-hmm.
It would make sense that Hanu would choose this as his home. On foot, it would take several very difficult, dangerous days of travel, but with your sky ship,
Mm.
I do believe that getting into this area will be much easier for you. I will be able to show you on our maps where it is you will need to go, and it sounds like you will be meeting Hanu.
Uva, do you want to come along?
I do not feel that it is the right time for me to take such a journey. It the dream made me feel like this is something that you and your friend must do alone.
Okay. I wish I could take mom or father because I think they would be very happy to meet uh Hanusiak, but I understand that this has to stay hmm, not secret but careful. Yes?
Careful is the right word for it, Kogan. If word was to get out what it is that you need to do, I fear your ship would be full of people more than willing to join you in this venture.
Okay.
So, for now, we will enjoy the night, spend
Mhm.
time with your family. But I feel that this is important and cannot wait any longer than the morning.
Okay. I will be ready for morning for sure. I will let my friends know. I'll head back to the party and I'll introduce like Douglan to members of my family, parents, like Felseal, my sister, who's remember when I was asking about like the Bard College because she does like dancing style magic, so I, like introduce her to him and talk to her about like, hey, you should go check out this college when you're ready and stuff like that. Just lots of stuff. And then I also want to take Douglan to kind of like our like holy temple area of our town, and that's where the Yuvon Dove Z will be, the gold dragon spirit, the special egg, the whole reason for my Yado Balan.
Mhm. Yeah,
So
Douglan is just, he's got a huge smile on his face, mostly watching Kogan. Like he sees like just a true happiness that, he's always been a very, outgoing and
mhm.
happy guy, but now it's like there's a completeness to him now that he's returned here. And he's like a little kid showing off everything. Oh, and you gotta see this. Oh, and come here.
Yeah,
You gotta
exactly,
look at
totally.
this.
Yeah, that's
So no,
totally.
he's Douglan is taking it all in, just like, almost like a proud dad, but not
Yeah.
quite. He's a proud uncle. How's that?
Anyways, yeah, let's show him this like crystalline. I don't know how to describe it's gold dragon egg looking
Mhm.
thing. I don't know what it would look like.
So it's incredible. Kogon. This
Yes,
is this is your purpose, isn't it?
this is what. Yes, this is the whole idea is that someone on the Yado Balan gathers the wisdom and strength and qualities necessary to be able to uh, protect and raise a young, true dragonling through the early parts of their lives before they're ready to go and become independent. So this egg has been in our village since shortly after um, our people's gathering to Emathan. So it has been a very long time. And no one knows when it will hatch or what, or even how exactly one is chosen. It is in our history that one is eventually selected to be this guardian. So, but yes, this is the whole reason. But now I'm understanding that it might not even come to pass until we can heal Hawk in some way. So here we are.
Closer than we were.
Yes. Anyways,
So great.
I think, Douglan, you will probably stay with me and my family tonight. Um, I hope you're okay not sleeping on a bed. We don't have any beds here, but you will find that our nest-like sleeping arrangements are very comfortable, quite warm, and I think you will feel very cozy. It's time for you to experience sleeping in a new way, that you may not be used to. So,
I'm an old soldier. I've slept on much worse.
okay.
No, hey, let's do it.
All right, great. This is excellent. And I wish Lafferty was here, and
Oh,
Nightingale, and everyone,
I'll tell them all about it.
Okay.
All right. Eventually, the festivities die out. Everyone heads off to their homes. Kogaan, you talk with your family before you head to bed, explaining to them that you and Douglan will be leaving early in the morning, without much fanfare, to continue. You've already explained to your family what's going on, without giving them as little detail as possible, so that they aren't overly concerned. And morning comes, and the sky ship departs from Golden Sky. Through your conversations, you're able to give the captain, using the maps that the captain has, plus a map that was provided to you.
I do have proficiency in cartography tools and stuff like that.
So I mean, you're able to, using a map from your village, help the crew determine exactly where in the mountains it is you need to go. You do know the area. It would be incredibly difficult for anyone to traverse into this area. It would be very difficult climbing and such to get down into this particular valley. As the ship departs, you immediately note that storm that has been making its way across, sort of chasing you for the last little bit, is beginning to make its way into the mountains. And the captain, coming up to converse with the two of you, he is concerned about being in the mountains when this storm enters. In particular, he's concerned about going down into this valley, because of the way the winds will potentially blow through the mountains, their ability to avoid the mountains. So what he proposes is to kind of take you over the ridge and drop you off somewhere on the other side, so you'll just have to make your way down into this valley. And then he's going to get the ship out of there. You can use the sending stone to call him back when the time comes. So the two of you, Fariedah, seeing the terrain, does not feel she can safely make it into the valley. So she is going to remain with the ship. Okay. So it is just going to be you and Douglan making your way down into the valley. As you depart the ship, the storm is already sort of blowing in. It's starting to get windy and cold. There's a little bit of light snow that's even starting to blow around here in the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
And you start making your way down into this valley. The storm keeps intensifying. The ship is now gone. As you're about halfway down into the valley, the two of you kind of working together to climb down through. This would be, I would classify it as kind of a very difficult scramble that you're doing.
Yep.
Times where there's a little bit of climbing that needs to be done. So you're really taking your time. Snow, cold, it's rainy. There is a point where the two of you are kind of walking along this ledge, and this huge blast of wind and snow hits the two of you with enough force that the two of you sort of kind of cover your eyes and your face for a second. And when you turn and look back up, you're not where you were a second ago.
What?
Is that supposed to happen?
I don't know.
You look up, and the wind is gone. You find yourself standing in this huge stone cavern. Before you stands Hanuziak.
Just like that.
The ancient gold dragon, so he is huge, right? Compared to the two of you standing there. Without saying anything, the dragon sort of looks the two of you over for a moment. And he transforms into a Dragonborn. So, like, this big, huge dragon just sort of shrinks down into a Dragonborn. Again, without really saying anything, just kind of looking the two of you over. He puts his hands out, waving behind you, and when you turn around, there are 3 chairs that are in a circle. He's clearly, trying to get you to take a seat at the table, or sorry, in this circle of the chairs.
Okay, maybe Douglan will wait for Hanuziak to sit down first.
He just kind of shakes his head. He's still like picturing that gigantic gold dragon. He almost gets to his knees.
You've seen like a couple of black dragons and a green dragon, but none of them were like full-on ancient dragons by
Dragon size, like
it's huge, like
terrifying, awe-inspiring, I should say.
I'll make formal greetings in Draconic, and then in common for Douglan's benefits, like, may I speak, Hanuziak?
Of course you may, Kogaan.
Sick. Please forgive me, but it has been the lore of our village for many generations that you are slumbering in these mountains, but you do not seem to be asleep to me. Is our history wrong?
He smiles, again, sort of pointing for you two to take a seat. He walks through the two of you and sits at the chair, sort of facing you, and then you are able to join him on the other 2 chairs.
I'll sit.
Sorry, one detail here. Hanuziak is speaking Draconic.
Mm-hmm.
Douglan, you understand it. You don't know why, but you know he's speaking a different Draconic, and you can understand it.
Is he hearing it as Draconic as well?
He's hearing it as, it's like he's spoken Draconic his
Awesome.
entire life. After you've all been seated,
The story that I am going to tell you will not be completely as you understand it.
Okay.
I am only what is left of my life force. A ghost, if you will. In fact, I passed from my body shortly after bringing the gold egg to your village. This egg was intended to be the vessel for my return to Emathan once the seal allowed it. As I passed, I stopped my life force from passing into the sill as I became aware that something was wrong. I immediately understood that this is why less and less dragon life force is returning to Emathan. It takes a great deal of my strength to remain here in Emathan. It leaves me with little ability to communicate with others such as yourself. I have been watching you, Colin, since you decided to invoke under your due Balloon. I have been trying to help whenever possible, for it is my return that you are working towards.
Oh. Wow. Okay. Well, I understand. Then you're here because Ak, who is the guide of dragon spirits in the seal, has been corrupted. And we were tasked by them to seek an ancient for they would have knowledge to provide us about how to cure Ak. Do you have this knowledge? A creature called Ordite infected Ak? Do you know of Ordite?
you see, with the mention of Ordite's name, quite a frown appears across Hanu's face.
You are not ready yet to understand what Ordite is, but that time will come. If I am to understand this, as you explain it to me, Ak has been possessed by something that is affecting him.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that sounds right. Yes.
And he has asked you to find some way to remove it.
Yes.
Hanu gets up, kind of puts his hands behind his back, steps away from the little circle of chairs, kind of with his back to you, clearly thinking. Seconds kind of turn into minutes. These minutes feel like a lifetime of you two kind of looking at each other.
Silent
like,
respect, trying to what's happening?
He turns and comes back and sits with you.
In the time that I have been watching this group, it is my understanding that you once had a powerful magical iron flask with the ability to capture beings that were not on their normal plane of existence. Since Ark is from the Sioux, and the entity that is possessing him is not, the iron flask should pull it out of Ark and capture it in the flask. Unfortunately, Lafferty took the iron flask with him when he crossed into the void. It is my suggestion that the two of you travel back to the Void Water Cave in the Shattered Lands. There, the separation between Emathan and the Void is very thin. You should be able to make contact with Lafferty and hopefully get the iron flask from him. Does this sound agreeable?
Of course, I will agree to anything to save dragons. So, and obviously to save Emathan itself. So, yes, of course. Thank you so much for your wisdom.
Hanu stands and kind of raises his hands for the two of you to stand as well. He looks at both of you and says,
I will be with you.
and with his words, this huge blast of dust and wind hits the two of you, much like it did before. When you're able to see again, you find yourself standing on a trail in sight of the village.
Douglan, maybe it would be best to use a sending stone message to the captain and tell him to just come back.
The ship is already here. They returned to the village after they dropped you off to wait
Oh,
out,
okay,
to wait
that
out
was
the
great.
storm.
Okay, they're gonna wait out the storm here. I wasn't sure what the. Okay.
Because your little area here is very well sheltered, like you described. So they came back to Golden Sky to wait out the storm.
Kogaan,
Yes.
I almost swore in front of Hanuziak. I was gonna say that blasted elf, but I didn't. I couldn't speak.
Yes. Well, you'll get a chance to see Lafferty again, I suppose. So,
Oh, I'm gonna give that daft elf a piece of my mind.
right.
But hold on. That's. I almost wept.
I know. Yes, I had no idea that this was the true story. I am. If someone asks me directly, I will, like Zen, for example, then I will of course tell of what happened. But I feel like this kind of information is a little bit world shattering, and so I think for now I will just we should just keep this information to ourselves until I have time to properly educate our people on what has happened.
You also go on, perhaps. Again, you know your people, but I don't know if you want to put a target on that egg. That's him. That's his essence.
Oh, outside the village, I will say nothing of this.
No. You have my word as well.
So, yes. Okay. The cave is, I am afraid I've only heard Lafferty speak of it, but never heard location.
I cannot forget. If you thought that battle with those weird things we just faced was bad. Oh, let me tell you a story about where we found the void water. But for another time. Let's get back and yeah, let's digest what we just heard.
Yes. Okay. Yes. I'll go back. Explain that I won't be staying long to the family. Heading out again.
Heading out again.
I mean, Douglan has a look on his face like he's just, like, seen it. I don't want to say seen a ghost in a bat, but like he has a 1,000-yard stare going on. Like, what did I just witness? What did I just hear? And then adding the fact that he's got to go back to the Lyelion cave. Yeah, Douglan is gonna probably have a stiff drink tonight on the ship. Like, a real stiff drink.
I think Kogaan will obviously speak with Vuvazen again, and he'll just kind of give her more of the Coles notes, you know what I mean? And just more like, he's going to explain to her that our history is off, you know what I mean, about Hanusiak, and that it's a little more, not tragic, but like dire than we thought, but to not to worry about it, and that I'll explain more when I'm back, kind of thing.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. I got a little audio thing that's going on that I want to fix before we continue on. It's probably not a bad spot to have a little biological break anyway. So we'll be back shortly. Okay, gents. After a little technical faux pas, we are back in business. Clean feed, and we want to make sure we capture the fun without it annoyingly crackling. Yeah. Technology.
Well, we'll see. The YouTube might be okay.
Yep, we'll see how it goes. All right. So you are at the village. You have spoken to everyone and let them know that you have to leave right away. And with that, the sky ship takes off, heading to where, gentlemen? Where would you like to go, knowing what you have before you?
Egan, Douglan.
Yeah.
Do you know? Should we go straight there, or are we going to need to prepare somehow, or what? You have the experience here.
I'm not quite sure how you prepare for a place like that. I will tell you that, assuming things don't change, because after all, it was just chaos in there, literally. Nightingale cast something, and there were 100 of them. It was true chaos. There were these flying snakes that shot lightning out their arse, and they packed quite a wallop. So if you got anything that's going to be, protection against that, I suggest you use it or get it ready. Perhaps we can speak with Fariedah to see if she has something as well.
Yes, let us speak with her.
Yeah, we're probably going to need some help, so Lyda perhaps could come along too, but I'm loath to bring them along because, as I said, it's
Very dangerous.
very dangerous. It's also in a very odd place, if I recall correctly. Colin, this is where the not the Warforge, but what are they called? The
Forsaken.
Forsaken.
Which
Yeah.
are essentially Warforge, but
Yeah,
that's
like
what they are
refigured
called
Warforge.
in this world. So,
Yeah.
because Douglan remembers and maybe Egan doesn't, I will do this. I'll quickly
It's been a while.
I'll quickly recap what happened in there. So, when you were originally going to the Void Water pool to collect Void Water way back when, you had traveled to a megalith that was on the shores of the Midnight Depths. That led you to a path that took you into the woods where you met the Keepers of the Moon, which are a moon elf druids that live in Winterberry Wood. Their leader, Jandar, used a spell, which was essentially transport via plants, to get you into the Shattered Lands. Now, the Shattered Lands are the northwestern portion of Emathan.
Yeah. We were on the edge there. To get
They
the
are massively. They were massively destroyed during the God's anger, and magic is very warped in the Shattered Lands, and so this is where the Warforge entered Emathan during the Gathering, and the magic of that area keeps them alive. So you met with one of the Warforged there, Render.
Render, yep.
Yep. Who took you down to the Void Water pool, and that's where you collected the Void Water, which at that time was one of the ingredients you needed to create the Sickle of the Moon. So presumably you will have to repeat the same path.
Yes.
Captain Murfitz has said when you guys went to the Stronghold, to the Order Stronghold, that he cannot take the ship into the Shattered Lands because of the warped way that affects magic and would affect the sky ship.
There's also all sorts of like floating lands. It's bizarre. Like, it's not just land. There's floating islands almost, and rope bridges that you need to traverse to get from one to the other. But this Render, it's a strange creature. If I'm not mistaken, he's can't die. He's like been around for quite a long time.
Wow.
But yeah, as I said, it's like nothing you've ever seen. So
So do we find this druid person? Travel? Traveling through a tree spell?
that's how we did it.
Essentially, Egan, you guys had no idea where in the Shattered Lands you appeared.
No.
So you have no idea even where this Void Water pool is, because it was just Jandar basically transported you wherever in the Shattered Lands you ended up. You don't even know where that is, really.
We're gonna have to find the druids again, and hope that they're kind enough to send us back. That's my only lead. I don't know how we got there or back, quite frankly. So
Well, yep. Then I suppose that's what we have to do. Where is this Jandar person?
it was on the I don't see. Keepers of the Moon were right by the.
I think they were in Winterberry Wood.
Yes, Winterberry. You said that, and I thought I had it here, and I didn't. Damn it. Winterberry Wood.
Yeah, you guys, if you remember, you took the ship and sailed till you found the megalith, and that's where you got off the ship and walked through the forest until, realistically, the druids found you.
Yeah. Yeah, I have notes like large flat stone with 3 large triangular pillars.
That's
It's
the
an island
megalith.
with
Yep.
a river running around it, bridges that lead to the island. There's a circle with a center pillar, and all the triangles point towards the river, and then there's a glyph on the pillar.
Yep.
Flat side facing the lake says, "Friends, go forth."
You got it.
And it's a shape changer. He met us as a wolf. The good old archdruid of the Keepers of the Moon. We did
Winterberry
promise
Woods,
to
just
help
so-
them. I hope we have.
So
This is the Lyelion region.
yep, you're actually just going west from Lyelion. So not so
Cool.
far away.
If I recall correctly, I have an ancestor that first met them, Mateo.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not my ancestor, my wife's, but yeah.
Oh, is this where you get the stuff for your wine?
This
They had to get a
Special
new
soil.
sickle in order to properly harvest the grapes for the alm wine. So that was what led them up this way the first time.
Very neat. Okay, but let's do it.
Douglan, you are able to work with the captain and Fentra to sort of narrow down where on the midnight depths that this megalith would be. So the captain says, basically you guys will fly in close to the area, get down close to the water's level where you'll be able to watch for the megalith on the shoreline as sort of being your marker as to where you'll enter the forest to go looking for the druids. This trip from Golden Sky to Winterberry Wood is going to take a little over 2 days. So you're going to have some quality ship time.
Flying into the wind.
Yes. And if there's any further discussions you would like to have amongst yourselves, now is a good time for such discussions.
Fariedah, if I may speak with Fariedah.
Of course.
You'll have to forgive me. I was so wrapped up with being back home and all the things that were going on. I forgot to ask how you enjoyed your time in my village, but also, it occurs to me I'm curious about where you are from. Do you have a same sort of story about being from a silver Dragonborn village of some sort?
No. My story, Kogaan, is quite different from yours. You see, as I have alluded to before, I was born when my parents had left their Dragonborn home. My family has been in search of a way to get into the Sill for many generations.
Cool.
My grandfather and my father traveled from a different part of this world to Emathan, following a lead that they believed would lead them to a gate, the very gate that we traveled through. I was actually born here in Emathan. Both of my parents lived and worked at Windrest, and I was born there. When their research led us to understand that the gate was in Lyelion, we purchased a home here, and I have spent all of my life either at Windrest or in Lyelion. So it was quite an experience for me to see Dragonborn in a home such as yours.
Well, since you have been so far removed from for yourself, you've never been to your original community, I am sure that if someday you wished it, you could come and become a member of Golden Sky, if that is something that that would appeal to you?
It would be my absolute joy to do so.
Great. That is all.
Okay, the trip is uneventful. As you are arriving sort of into the midnight depths, the captain, as promised, sort of in the area where he believes you will find the monolith. They get down to water's level, and sure enough, within a couple of hours, you sight the monolith on the shore. The captain takes the ship in, and you disembark. It is as Douglan described it. There is a river that comes out of Winterberry Wood, and it sort of goes around this island where the where the megalith sits. And the megalith is triangular in shape, and it kind of points up the river. And as Douglan and the rest of the party determined last time they were there, you need to follow this river into the forest in order for, as I said, for the druids really to find you, not the other way around.
Whoop.
You gather your stuff. Now, Fariedah, again, I mean, she's an old woman.
Yeah.
And she does want to come with you. So, the three of you make your way into the forest. It requires lots of helping her along, taking turns, holding an arm. But you make...
Oh, she's that old, hey? Where
Yeah.
she's like
She's-
frequent rests and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like...
she's Faridah's toward the end of her days.
Okay,
you know,
okay.
But she's dedicated her life to this,
Wow.
and really wishes to see it to the end. Because of what has happened, she has no children to carry on her plight. Yeah. So, you're an hour or so walking through the forest. All while you're walking along, from time to time you hear these quiet little whispers and giggles in the forest.
Good. Are these druid people?
There's a good chance we've been watched since we got off the ship there, lad.
Or I have heard
Hopefully-
stories. Are there pixies in this wood?
I believe so. All sorts of strange stuff.
Douglan, at one point, sort of on the wind, you think you hear this little giggle that says, "Welcome back, Douglan."
He just shakes his head. It's good to be back, he says to the wind. Could you perhaps get Jandar? We don't mean to rush, but well,
We got in a
kind
rush.
of it's kind of important.
You pause for one of many of Faridah's breaks, and a large pack of black wolves approach the party from the forest on all sides.
We're gonna attack immediately. No, I'm just kidding. No, I do say stand down, lad. It's. I'm hoping it's who I think it is.
Put my shield back on my pack.
Yeah.
One of the larger of the wolves walks forward and sort of in front of you transforms into an elf.
Sick.
Douglan, you recognize it to be Taliesin, the moon elf who met you in the forest last time.
Well, Well
He
met,
signals the other wolves to depart. And then standing there in front of you, he says, "Welcome back, Douglan."
Talisman. I didn't think I'd be back this quickly, but well, let me introduce a couple of new friends, if you will. This is Kogaan.
Hello.
This here is Fariedah. Well, to make a long story short, the in essence, their god needs something from the that cavern that had the void water, if you will. So we need to go back there. It's very important.
I do hope everything is well.
Well, if we're having to go back into that blasted cave, I'll just say it's serious, and we have to do it. But it could be fantastic if we are successful and in our quest here.
As the conversation with Taliesin continues, a wooden platform descends from the trees above. And Taliesin says, "I do believe you know the routine."
Of course.
Douglan, what's the routine?
Hang on, let me remember.
It's an elevator. Just get on the elevator.
Yeah, get on the elevator. Of course. No, it is. Yeah, we just hop on and close your eyes and you're there. Keep your hands inside
the three of you get onto this platform, which immediately just starts raising up into the canopy. You know, just as it kind of looks like this platform is just going to tear through the limbs in that, it passes through some sort of illusion, and you immediately find yourself in this village that's built into the trees up here. As the platform comes to a rest, Taliesin is standing there, having used an eagle form to fly himself up to meet you. He takes you to Jandar, who is the archdruid here, who Douglan you've met before, into his meeting room where once again has this large circle table, always with a big pot of hot tea on it. And Jandar is there. "Please, friends, take a seat."
Thank you.
Master Jandar, this is Kogaan and Fariedah. They well, we have need of returning to the void caverns.
Yes, Taliesin has told me that you have need to return to the Shattered Lands and to revisit the Void Water Pool. Is this correct?
It is.
I do not wish to pry into your business. I believe that if you would want to return to such a place, you have a very valid reason to go there. I am more than willing to help you once again in the way that I did before. I will transport you from here through the forest, through the trees, through nature itself, back to the same place you were in your original visit. Do you wish to leave immediately, or would you have need to rest first?
Fariedah?
Yes. Yes, Lady Fariedah. If you need the time to rest, then we will.
I do thank you for that, but it is of the most importance that we do this as quickly as possible. I will be okay.
Yes. Was it Shandar? Is it?
Jandar.
Jandar. Mr. Jandar, is there anything that we could repay you with? We have much coins if you require that. I do not know what you need of that here. And then, or if is there anything we could get for you while we're gone?
During Douglan and his friend's previous visit, there was an agreement between ourselves that should I ever have need for your assistance, that it would be given without question. I will simply ask that you, Kogaan, and you, Miss Fariedah, include yourselves in this promise.
Yes, of course. I see no reason not to. Thank you.
Excellent. Then I will send you at once if you are ready.
I think we are ready.
Jandar goes up to this one particularly large tree and casts up on it transport via plants. He says basically when you are ready to return, you simply need to go up and touch the same tree you will emerge from in the Shattered Lands, and he will cast the spell to bring you back.
Wow. This is very neat magic.
Yes. And enjoy it while you can, Koga. Where we're going, it's gonna twist your mind.
Okay, I am prepared.
All right, so this basically all you have to do is walk up and touch the tree, and you appear in the Shattered Lands touching the tree that will be your return point.
A moment or a day, and Kogan, please come close if you would.
Yes.
And he's gonna put his hand on each of their shoulders, and he's gonna quietly ask Gath for aid.
Ooh.
Gonna cast aid on all three of us.
Nice.
I think I remember how to do that.
5 hit points to our maximum.
It is. Yeah. Well, let's see. I think I target and then.
I just gave myself 5 more hit points.
Oh, okay, got it. That's probably the easiest way to do it.
Instead of
65. If you wouldn't mind giving Fariedah
5.
Yeah, and put it on her permanent. Put it on her permanent record. Because if they're healed,
you know what? I never took the 5 off her permanent record. So.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
There we go.
Fantastic. She knew it was coming back to me.
Yes.
Sweet. Cool.
Alrighty. So, as you emerge in the Shattered Lands, all touching this large tree, you make a mental note of which tree it is so you know how to find your way back when the time comes. You have appeared on this large floating island of land. So as I've used in the past, this is really modeled around Pandora in Avatar, where you have a land that was torn apart by the magic during the god's anger, and huge chunks of land just ripped up and are floating at different heights all through this area that is known as the Shattered Lands. This island floats, almost 100 feet off the ground below, and all around you are islands. They're all connected by these rope bridges, which seems strange. As you walk kind of around this little island, where the rope bridge that leaves this island and travels on, there is standing some sort of iron and wood, what looks like a statue. Just in front of the rope bridge, as you approach, the statue sort of comes to life. And looking over at Douglan.
Hello, Douglan. It is good that you have returned to see me.
You're on mute, Egan.
Hello, Render. Yes, we're back. How fare thee? Kind of knowing the answer.
I am as good as one can be. I ask, did Jandar send you?
Yes. However, we're here on other business. If I may introduce you to my companions here. This is Kogaan and Lady Fariedah. It is on their behalf that we have returned here to the Forsaken Lands.
Kogaan? Fariedah? It is good to meet both of you.
Yes, I'm very pleased to meet you as well.
Douglan, what is it that will bring you to the Shattered Lands this time?
Well, we need to return to the place that has the void water. However, it's not for the void water, but perhaps a connection to one of our companions that is, we believe, in between worlds, if you will. We were given information that that's the only way to contact him as we seek a very precious item.
I understand. You do remember that this place is very dangerous.
I cannot forget, but we must nevertheless continue.
Kogaan, Fariedah, is this your first time in the Shattered Lands?
Technically we were on the edge of the Shattered Lands in an old temple, but this is my first time on this side of those mountains, seeing islands floating in the air. So yes, I suppose. Yes.
It is important for you to understand that magic is very unpredictable in the Shattered Lands.
Okay.
You should be very wary of its use.
I do not cast spells, but I have these runes. It's a type of magic. Would that be affected as well?
Yes, all magic is affected.
Okay, very good. What kind of effects?
Magic acts in unpredictable ways. It may do what you expected. It may do the very opposite of what you expected. It may come out weaker. It may come out stronger. One can never be sure how magic will react here.
Okay, duly noted. We will be extra careful.
Then
Okay.
the four of us shall go.
Yes, please, lead on.
Yes, Render. And thank you again for guiding us.
Douglan, do you think as we walk, do you think if I need to, become my larger self, do you think that type of magic would be affected?
Lad, anything. As I said, Nightingale cast what normally is a very simple spell, and the next thing I knew, there was like 100 of them. 100.
Okay.
And other spells had no effect whatsoever. But again, these snakes, if that's what we face, pack a wallop. Don't stay in a line because they shoot lightning straight through you. All right? And if we have to, we run, lick our wounds, and come back. All right?
Okay.
And Fariedah,
Yes?
please stay behind us, all right? Although these snakes can come out of anywhere, but I want you to stay back a little bit, all right?
Understood.
I told you about these. Do you have anything that, well, we hope to protect against lightning of some kind? Do you have something that you can protect yourself with?
I do not.
All right. Well, you let Kogaan and I take the lead here, and the first sign of danger, get out of sight, all right?
Understood. So Render takes the party to an area where the land sort of ripped up out of the ground, and the hole that's left sort of has this spiraling staircase that goes down to a cave entrance. And Douglan, you know that 100 feet or so inside of this entrance is the Void Water Cave and the Void Water Pool.
Mm-hmm. I know, Kogaan, that for some reason I could hear a Nuziak in my head, but even though I knew it was draconic. He said to come here, but did he tell you how we can communicate with Lafferty?
No, I heard the same things as you. So apparently this place is the thinnest point between our world and the void. And so we should be able to reach out somehow. Maybe you, Douglan, because I think you had the strongest bond with Lafferty. Maybe that will have some sort of effect.
And always ask Gath for her help too.
It's true.
Yeah, I'm sure it couldn't hurt. So
Also, Hanuziak said that he will be with us from now on. So I do not know what that means exactly. Maybe he is watching through our eyes. May be able to contact us if we are out of ideas or something. I don't know, but he seemed to trust that we would figure it out. So
mm-hmm. So Douglan just has the look of, this is gonna suck, but I gotta do it. So imagine that on his face.
yeah.
And he's like, I'll take the lead.
Okay.
And he goes in.
So just before you enter, Render speaks again.
As one final reminder, the only safe place to touch the void water is from the well. If you touch the pool anywhere else, it will electrocute you. And as a reminder, I cannot enter this area as the electrical interference affects me in ways that I do not want to experience again.
No
Thanks for the
problem.
reminder. Also, you saw what the void water did to, or at least what we saw was doing to Lafferty, huh? So let's be careful.
Yes, I have no desire to drink this water. But maybe by touching it, you'll be able to reach Lafferty.
Perhaps.
Okay. Let us proceed downwards, I suppose.
All right, you travel through this tunnel. Goes down at a bit of an angle. As you start to approach the end, you can see flashing and arcing, and you can tell you are getting close to the Void Water Cave.
Cave sounds with thunder. Awesome. Sounds like a normal cave to. Oh shit.
Oh, that.
Douglan, does this feel familiar? Are we going in the right direction?
There's only one way to go, lad.
Okay. Well, let us not tarry any longer. We move forth.
All right. You come out of the cave entrance into an almost surrealistic environment. There is this outcropping from the rocks that moves out into this little island, in the center of which there is a well. The area all around you is just charged with electricity. You can see it crackle along the rocks of the cavern roof, all throughout the water that is around the area. Just it's constantly moving with electricity all through it. These little arcs will come up and against the wall and stuff. It's just there is green grass growing on this area, like it was just pulled out from the real world and dropped in here, having just been a part of a sunny day. It's a very, very strange environment. Just out of nowhere, a black drop will appear and just fall to the ground. Sometimes high in the sky, sometimes nearly in front of you. It's just these drops of this black water drop and make their way into this big pool of black electrically charged water that's all around you.
Okay. Mind the gap.
Yeah.
I am going to share a map with you because I think that will help to understand where you are. We'll place your characters on here, and you can tell me where you are moving to.
Ah, yes. My old friend.
We're on the right somewhere.
You'll be coming in from the right. That is correct. Excuse me.
Perhaps I should go on ahead. And you stay back with Fariedah.
Okay, but not too far ahead.
No.
All right, I'm going to place your tokens on the map here.
Mm-hmm.
And you can kind of position yourselves. Again, okay, we got Fariedah and Douglan and Kogaan. All right, you're on the map. You can move yourself. So basically, directly to the right of you is the tunnel that you entered into this area.
So you're taking the lead.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, well, Douglan's gonna walk. He'll do 30. As he gets to right about here, assuming nothing happens, he's gonna say, perhaps just behind me here is where you two could stay for a moment.
Behind this big rock?
No, you see where I'm at?
Yes.
Kind of either right behind me there or just a little bit, yeah. And just keep your eyes all around because these buggers popped up from everywhere.
And maybe Fariedah could go across the way behind the other rock?
Maybe behind that rock that she just to the south of her, right? Yeah. Maybe just, yeah, exactly, where she can kind of see, but if she needs to, that little old lady can hoof it.
Yep.
And yeah, Douglan's just gonna go.
Freaking out, man.
Game
over, man. Game over.
What movie is that, Adam?
Aliens.
Oh,
Yeah.
aliens,
Bill
man.
Paxton.
Yes.
Classic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everything's shit's hitting the fan. Everyone's dying.
Yep. Douglan just turns and says, "For golden sky," and keeps walking.
Oh, Douglan. Tear trickles down.
I will keep moving until shit hits the fan, Colin.
Okay.
Yep.
Maybe we'll move up in like tactical staggered formation.
Fariedah kind of calls out, should I just remain here or follow? What would you prefer, Douglan?
Can she hear me that far back?
Yeah, it's only like 60 feet.
Yeah.
Oh,
you
I
yell.
thought there was like lightning. Yeah.
It is. But
yeah.
when you yell back, she can hear you.
Just stay behind Kogaan, but not too far away, okay? Don't come too close. At least for now. There you go. Douglan's his neck's on a swivel. Like he's looking like the slightest little flash of lightning. He's like pointing his halberd that way and gets to the well.
Kogaan doesn't want to be too far away from Douglan, but respecting your lead,
Mm-hmm.
I'll hang out here.
Mm-hmm.
So, the environment nothing has changed much. You don't see anything. It's loud in here with the constant thundery rolls and, flashes, and it's a very unnerving environment.
Well, he's gonna look at the well and kind of look back at Kogaan and just kind of
Touch the water
up and touch the well water, the void water in the well.
Think of Lafferty when you do.
Yes, swear words come to his head. After.
Just one moment here. All right, Douglan, as you touch the void water, thinking about Lafferty.
Slender elves. Yeah.
Wow, that was quite the clap of thunder. Sorry, guys, I'm just dig something up here.
Plotting our death.
Just plotting your death, yes.
Yep.
I want to make sure it's properly documented before I...
Egan / Douglan just thought of something, but too late. Too late, people.
On the other side of the pool appears Lafferty.
Oh.
He looks momentarily disoriented, but then seeing Douglan, he's like, Douglan? That's you?
It is. Lafferty Jones. What the hell, man?
Can
you
I
just
see him?
take off on us?
Yeah, everybody can see. He just materialized all of a sudden, looking like
Shit.
he's as surprised he is here as you are surprised he is here.
Mhm.
Hi, Lafferty. Like wave from behind the rock. Oh.
Douglan completely forgets to ask why we're here and what he needs. He's just pissed, like happy to see him, but pissed that he left, type of thing.
What are we doing here?
Oh, that's right. Well, you see, there's this dragon god, and apparently you have something that we need to fix something that they need. Kogaan can explain. How are you? Why'd you leave, lad?
Douglan, there's not enough time to talk about all of these things. What is
Yes,
it?
Douglan. Maybe the flask first and then questions, just in case.
All right.
What
Lafferty, we need
is
that
it
flask.
exactly you're looking like there are so many things that have happened, Douglan, and I wouldn't even know where to begin talking about them. And if I could think of a spot to start,
Douglan, he's going to
it
ramble.
might not be the right place to start.
Ramble.
Lafferty.
Yes.
Hey,
Yes.
focus,
Yes.
lad. We need that flask that traps things inside of it. You have it.
Well, why didn't you ask for it?
Good question. Do you have it?
I do. He reaches into one of his many pouches and he checks a couple and finally reaches into his shirt and here it is. This is what you're looking for, of course.
That's what we need, lad. Yes.
May I ask why?
As I said,
or did you tell me?
I
No,
did
you didn't
tell
tell me.
Yeah. Lafferty.
He indirectly told you.
Yes. Stay focused, lad. Can we please have it? And then I'll answer all your questions, okay? I don't know how long you'll be here or if you're going to disappear again on us. Can I have the flask, lad?
Of course. If you need the... Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, Douglan, I'm so sorry. He throws the flask so it's kind of flies towards you.
Mm-hmm.
He disappears, and in his place is one of the void creatures that you all saw previously. So not the void hunters. This is the actual creature that Lafferty used to see before he saw Anubis.
Yeah, Anubis, yeah.
Shit.
Hopefully I can catch this thing.
Yep, so it's flying towards you. I'm going to ask for an athletics check.
All that sparring is
Or actually, probably an acro... Give me whichever you want. Acrobatics or athletics, either or.
If I could do athletics, I would.
Yep, go for athletics.
Athletic maneuver to catch something. Nice.
Ooh, well done. You kind of reach out. You've caught this thing. All right. So, I just need... Lafferty just vanishes, and in his place,
Lafferty. No.
going to...
No, Lafferty.
In Lafferty's place appears this void shadow.
Oh, it's little.
It essentially, it's sort of humanoid from its waist up. It trails off into kind of just smokiness underneath it. And it has this set of wings, these big long arms with very, very clawed hands on it. And it takes one look at you, Douglan, and just immediately flies towards you. Let's get some initiative roll there, boys and girls.
Wow. Douglan, what's the plan?
I'll tell you when it's my turn.
Yeah.
Or at least when he thinks the right plan.
Do we just run?
All right, I'll roll some initiative for this guy.
Oh, come on.
Damn it.
Of course.
Colin's so happy right now.
Yeah, but look how well I'm not showing it. Like, you know.
Yeah, it's true. Poker face.
All right, Douglan, this thing flies directly at you. So it is sort of, if you can imagine, it is flying through the air a little bit above you, and it claws out at you. It gets
Can I
two
pokey?
Yeah, it gets 2 clawed attacks.
I'm hoping I can stop it 10 feet from me. I will try. Shit. Damn it.
All right. Its first clawed attack against you hits. So this thing does it does 2 different types of damage. So if for any reason it gains, so normally it does 2d6 plus 3 damage, but if it gets, in any way, if it gets advantage against you, its damage doubles.
Oof.
So just so you are aware of what you are up against.
Interesting.
I don't like that at all.
All right. Its first round of damage against you. Second attack. Well done, monster. All right. See, that's that where I rolled right in between the two of you. First one good, second one no good.
I'll take it.
All right. Douglan. Oh, sorry.
All right.
Kogaan.
But I can't
Just hang tight there for a second.
copy that.
I'm so excited.
Kogaan, behind you.
It's Fariedah and everything's okay.
It's wide open.
There is
grass.
a flash of electricity behind you, and a lightning snake appears up out of the water and attacks.
Not good.
I love the snaky sound it makes.
These things suck.
So the lightning snakes get to make 2 bite attacks or 1 lightning strike attack. It is going to attempt 2 of its biting attacks. So its bite attack does 3d6 plus lightning damage. So they got a nasty bite. So this thing moves in. So this thing is literally just Kogaan. It just looks like a living bolt of lightning in sort of a snaky sort of shape with a somewhat recognizable head. It has a snake-like appearance, but it's really just more like a big bolt of lightning. First biting attack against Kogaan. It misses you. Second biting attack against you. Also misses. So this thing is crackling and snapping around you, and
Okay. I would like to use my reaction and attempt one of my magical thingies.
Oh yeah.
okay. So here
Um,
is how these work, Max.
Okay.
I have
Table.
an unexpected magic in the Shattered Lands table.
Cool.
Each time you are going to use magic, I'll roll it, and then we will determine. So you'll tell me first whatever you're trying to do with your magic.
So first, I'm trying to activate my Onique rune ability to incapacitate the lightning snake. So it has to make a wisdom save.
Okay.
Shall I do that, or do you do your thing
Nope,
first?
we'll make the roll first.
Okay.
You should see the outcome. It does what's expected.
So no problem with the
No problem with the magic. Nope.
Okay, let me just drop this effect on him. Boom.
Nice.
Incapacitato.
I'd like to think that's exactly what you're saying.
Incapacitato.
In the
All right.
ancient tongue.
That was my reaction.
Nice. Nicely done. First snake out of commission right there. First of hundreds. I mean, nothing. Douglan.
So, Douglan, the snake's pretty much kind of daydreaming right now. Should we just go?
So Douglan is also going to dip into the magic well,
Nice.
and he is going to
The
cast...
DM loves dipping into the magic
Yes.
well.
He's going to cast Misty Step.
Oh.
So I'll wait. Let me know if it actually works or if I'm sent to the void hell. Oh,
Spell or magic does what is expected.
alright, so that is a bonus action to here.
Yep.
And yes, as he appears right next to Kogaan, he says, there's no point fighting these. Let's get out of here. Fariedah, behind me, let's go. And so then he's going to use his movement of 30 to go here. And then since he stopped moving, he still has an action. He's going to go into his defensive stance. So
Okay.
let me add that to my thing. Where are you, buddy? Great weapon defense. Okay. And yeah, he tells Fariedah, keep your eyes open, but head for the exit. Got what we need. And that's his turn.
Alrighty.
Brave Sir Robin bravely ran away.
I did not. All right. Fariedah is running as best she can.
He's gone. And for the movement.
All right. She's hightailing it out there at full speed, which she does not have a run speed.
No, I might pick her up if I can this round. We'll see how it goes. Or I will be fighting a goddamn snake.
All right, and
No.
she is going to take the dodge action for her action. All right,
I can only-
Douglan.
Oh, God.
Another one of these beasts comes up from the water and attacks you. Why did it do that?
It saw me and was like, I'll just stop.
All right.
Can I give a
Yep. Go ahead.
stabby stab?
I guess he's here until I'll move him back if necessary.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to dip into the well.
Okay,
I'm
so he
gonna
would be
do it.
10 feet away, right? At that point,
Yeah,
when
he
you start.
has to stop right there.
Okay.
I am going to add a gas tank on it.
Nicely done.
Big hit.
Big hit.
Partially resisted.
That also would be considered magic, or no? A divine smite.
That's no, because divine magic is different.
It's different. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay.
This is
divine
magic that really pulls from the stuff of magic that arrived during
Right.
the god's anger.
Understood.
Yep. All right. So he got stopped there. He will now. These guys on their bite, they do have a 10-foot range. But he is actually going to blast Douglan with his lightning strike.
Cheat.
Yeah, I remember that. I still got Aaron scars.
So you just have to. It's just a dexterity save, which I will put upon you, Douglan.
But your knees.
You fail.
Oh.
It's gonna hurt.
Oh, are you kidding
So
me?
sweet.
Are you kidding me?
Yes. Yes.
No,
Love to see it.
no. Oh my goodness. Clearly, Hanuziak is watching over you.
Yeah.
Yes.
My goodness.
Oh. Shit.
All right.
Oh my God.
So that's it for that lightning snake. It blasted its lightning strike at you, which struck you, but clearly you weren't as well grounded as one would hope. So
I wore rubber boots.
that
this time.
adamantine armor somehow deflected.
Not
this,
conductive. Bad
yeah.
conductor. Adamantine.
Kogaan.
Okie dokie. Well, this guy's dazed, so I can just book it by him. 3, 4, 5, 6. So run up next to Douglan. I'm like, I'm gonna go help Fariedah.
Oh.
And then I'll use my action to dash and get up beside her. I'm essentially, I don't know if there's some way that can modify both our movements so that I can speed her up in a way. Do you know what I mean? Or
Yeah, I'll say if you're helping her, I'll give her the ability to dash.
okay, sweet.
Yep.
So long as I use my action to like help her.
Yep.
Okay. That's my turn then.
All right. Another lightning snake
They're everywhere.
comes up
Oh, no.
from the waters, attacking Fariedah.
And do the effects too, man. It's all bringing back some bad.
You got
I have like
PTSD.
PTSD.
Yeah, you totally do.
All right,
Totally.
it is using its bite. So just crackling lightning as this thing snaps and bites at Fariedah. First attack against Fariedah. Misses. The old gal avoids the first one. Another crackling snap.
She's surprisingly limber.
And this one hits.
Jesus.
Christ.
Yummy.
Did you have these sound effects last time you were here?
Yes.
The same
Yep.
kit? Yes.
Dude,
Same
this
kit.
thing was, I mean,
I-
it was goodness
That's
over.
that's why Douglan has post-traumatic stress.
Yeah.
All right, that takes us to the top of the order to our Void Shadow.
Fight a snake, stupid shadow.
Yeah.
Maybe a snake will go after the shadow. Neutral ground.
Yeah, you can use
Oh,
that.
you can't actually.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I used it
It
on
hasn't
the.
been your turn yet
Yeah.
since the other one.
Oh yes, it hasn't been your turn,
Yeah.
right? It's not
Correct.
top of the order. It's your turn. So, this thing had to dash to get up to you, Douglan.
Mhm.
So, no attack this round. Now, does this lightning snake, as long as nobody messes with it, it stays incapacitated, correct?
It just,
At the end of its turn, it gets
Yeah,
to try.
this form of incapacitated. We can wail away on him. And he
Okay.
wouldn't wake up. It's literally just a save at the end of his turn. So I'll just. Drop
Okay,
the
so
save
we'll
on
get
him.
another save for this guy. Fails. He continues to be incapacitated. Douglan. Douglan, run.
Yeah, just disengage as my action. And then I will move. So I think
But technically, with the 10-foot. Oh no, you're disengaged from everyone. That's right.
yeah, I disengaged. I think I'm gonna stay here because I think if I were to go through any of them, it's 10-foot movement anyway, and I'd have to stop there. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna stay right there. And again, I'm still in the defensive. You know, the halberd's kind of. Also, I'm within 5 feet, so if 36 attacks Fariedah again, I'll hopefully be able to get a pop. Yeah, that's my turn. And then remember that both right now Kogaan and Fariedah have +2 on their saves.
Yeah. Right now, it's on our character sheets. So
Got it.
I will commit to if she's gonna dash or whatever. I'll commit to dashing on my turn using my action. You're not coming through.
Sorry, I was pouring a drink. I turned it off.
Okay.
So she will disengage
Okay.
and travel the full distance she can, so she does not take an attack from this thing.
Cool. She is wise.
Kogaan like throws her. Go.
Well, she's not
Alrighty.
dashing, so I'm not obligated to use my dash.
Nope.
Yeah, help her.
Nope. That will be. All right. That takes us to our lightning snake 48.
Does that sound?
Now you can react.
Now you can
Now
react.
I can take a pop and pop.
All right. Stopped in his tracks once again.
No stink on that one.
All right. That's it for that snake. Lightning snake Kogaan.
My turn. Okay. Well. I guess I will. Oh, I know what I'll do. Okay. I'm gonna use one of my metallic Dragonborn special breath things. And I'm gonna. Let's see here. So I will move here. And then I'll unleash my innervating breath on this guy. So it's a cone, but from this angle, I should be able to hit it without hitting.
Hitting the 136.
36, yep.
Okay, I'll roll to see what happens to your magic.
Oh, this counts? Okay.
Oh my god. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh. And it
Was it expected? Okay, so he failed.
Yep.
So he's incapacitated for until the end of his next turn.
Okay.
And then I'll move 3 more feet to get next to Fariedah there. Or I guess I can move. I move 10 feet to get it. But no. Cool. Almost out, Douglan.
Oh, I got Void Shadow about to
Yeah, basically I moved
mess up
and
my
then
day.
do this breath thing, and the air kind of like distorts and warps, and it just like hits this snake, and you see it just like kind kind of go dazed and confused there.
All right.
Like those swirls in
And
its
is
eyes.
that a roll at the end of its turn?
No, it just lasts until the end of its next
Okay,
turn.
perfect.
So just a 1 round thing.
All right, that takes us to the top of the order and our void.
Oh, sorry. Start of my next turn. So
Okay.
same death basically.
Yeah, it'll be just before its turn. So, all right, this thing comes flying in. I don't believe you have another reaction.
No. I do
So it attacks. First claw attack against Douglan.
You're in your defensive stance. Is it up?
Yeah.
Missed with the first attack. Second attack. Wowzers. That's brutal.
Nice. The void's got nothing on you.
Our lightning snake 23 would like to try again to go free.
Oh yeah, that's right. This is a really cool rune. This one I have a lot of success with. This one's the one that like stays around for a while.
These
Now
are
I just cursed it. Oh, I dropped the effect on it. Sorry. Meant to drop.
yes.
Continues to fail. This
Oh,
lightning
dude.
snake has just been a failure its whole life.
It should just go back into the lightning water
Lightning
and
water, yeah.
feel sad.
He's not getting beat up. You know, that's the flip side, right? He's just chilling.
All right, Douglan.
Disengage again. Just, you know, he's basically backing up the whole way. Just the halberd is just sort of like
Yeah.
doing this the whole way backward.
Doing your cool stuff.
Is that 30?
Yep.
Gonna make it, gonna make it, gonna.
Yeah. And I think that's it. Action, movement, bonus action. No, I think I'm good.
Great. Faridah's turn.
All right, that did for you, Douglan?
Yeah.
All right. All right, are you assisting Fariedah this time, or?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll commit to the assist.
so she is out, and you two are hightailing it up the tunnel. Our next lightning snake. I think the only one that's not incapacitated in some way. It is going to use its lightning strike to zap the both of you.
Oh snap!
Yeah, I thought about that too. I'm like, there was nowhere else I could go.
All right, so I will do the save on both of you.
Unless you kill it with your reaction.
Yeah, I mean, I can. I was waiting.
Yeah,
for the
go ahead.
okay. Yep.
Sentinel.
Yeah, I
Sentinel
don't know.
snake.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll. No, I missed.
One hit.
Sorry, man. I'm thinking defense right now.
Take a defense. All right, Douglan, your save attempt
Damn it.
fails. And Lafferty, your save attempt.
Lafferty.
Sorry, Lafferty, Kogaan.
Did you get your
Also
plus 2?
fails.
Yep,
Did
I got
you-
the +2.
Yep.
Or protection? Yes.
All right.
This is gonna hurt.
Okay.
1 1 1 1. 1 2
Oh
3.
my
Yeah, that's not bad.
goodness.
Oh. Ugh.
That's better. I mean, oh, sorry about that.
Darn.
It's supposed to be one die roll, but
All right.
whatever. I guess I take more damage.
No, you're right. No, you're absolutely right. I bunged that up. It should only be one dice roll. I should have targeted both of you. So we'll go with the 8 So you can give yourself back 7 there.
Cool.
You got to remind me of these things earlier, Max. I get caught up in destroying you all and forget myself.
Yeah.
I mean,
No
nothing.
problem. No problem.
All right, Kogaan.
All right, I'm dashing out of here, like I said I was, because I helped Fariedah. Run, Douglan, run!
All right, those two are hightailing it up the.
And that snake is now back on board.
Why did it do that again? It just that round it doesn't get the attack. It just or does it?
It says it lasts until the start of my turn. So because he's after me, then he's back up.
Okay, I need to go back down and give this guy his attack.
So basically, we took him out for 1 round. So 1 less lightning attack.
All right. So this guy.
Yay!
Got here. Douglan, it's going to try it. Yeah, it's lightning strike against you.
Already?
Can't roll above a 10 on a save.
Oh. Those are okay. I'll take those.
Okay.
Look at all those. How many ones have I got in this battle? Like this
Lots of
is
ones.
just this
Thank
is
God.
insane.
Hey, we failed all of our saving throws.
Yeah.
So
That's
it's
true.
only fair.
Yeah. All right. Back to our void shadow. It's flying along.
Incapacitado.
30. It will attack Douglan with its clawing fingers tearing into your armor.
Defensive stance, no problem.
First attack.
Oh! Am I too far away? Oh no!
Oh
you
yeah,
got
hamstringed him.
adamantine armor, so that works.
We can pretend he would have been hamstringed.
Totally. Yeah, absolutely.
Damn adamantine. All right.
Oh man, I could drop, guys. I could drop.
No, you've got adamantine armor.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's no
doesn't
critical.
double.
Yeah, no
Got it.
critical.
You still get hit automatically, but you don't take this
Yeah.
critical damage.
Where am I here? That was.
You
That
just
was
roll
his,
the damage.
That was just his first attack, right?
It'll automatically does the adjustments.
So it's given me critical, which it shouldn't.
Yeah. No.
Oh, it
It'll
adjusts.
automatically
Yeah,
adjust the
right.
damage. Good thing. Good thing.
Holy shit.
Woo! Nice. Second attack.
Oh my god.
Come on.
Oh, I missed on the second attack.
I mean, I'm off the board, but I'm not like further
Oh, no,
than 60
no.
feet away. So I
No,
could still
not at all.
use like my runic shield if necessary.
You have. Okay, so that takes us to.
Sleepy boy.
Yeah.
Again, man. Just the fact that this dude was incapacitated. Otherwise,
Going.
yeah. Otherwise, he just pops over, hits me with another lightning. I could have dropped.
Just taking one out. Douglan.
Yeah, he disengages. He grabs his hammy. Oh, and he's like limping to the end of the board there. Hopefully, he can make it out.
What do you
Well,
got?
you didn't actually get critically struck, so
No, it didn't
you're not
actually.
actually hamstrung.
Yeah.
It still hurt. All right, he's old. His hamstrings are tender.
So 30 feet.
So you're moving 30 feet? That's only 20.
Well, yeah, there's no. Oh shit! I had the map closed, so yeah, I'm wherever 30 here. There.
All right. The three of you are hightailing it up the tunnel, the creatures are either unwilling or unable to pursue.
Then the snakes eat the void shadow.
Yeah, you don't see behind. They're just angry with one another. They get in a big scrap and.
Void
Who are
shadow's
you?
not
What are you
from
doing
there.
in our pool?
Exactly.
Like we're gone. They turned him like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah, who are you? Like, how did you get here? And
Dude, you see how quick that could turn?
Oh
If
yeah,
you
they just
don't
keep
hightail
coming
it out of there?
Yeah.
Dude, you incapacitated 2 of them
Yeah.
for
And we-
multiple
and-
rounds.
Yeah, and you still took. a
And
ton
I'm
of-
still 1 hit away from dropping.
Yeah.
So
Render is standing outside, just completely lifeless as he does when he's not interacting with something.
Douglan is just heaving like
As you emerge from the tunnel,
It is good to see that you are returning. I hope that all went well.
Well enough, yes.
Oh yeah. Everything's great.
You were able to speak with Lafferty,
Yes, we were. Thank you.
and this is a good thing then.
Very good. Yes.
Yes.
Where would
we
you
would-
like to go to next?
Out of this place, I think. Back to the tree from whence we came.
yes.
all right, Render leads you basically back to the floating island that you appeared upon.
Kogaan, do you think you could hit me with the healing rod?
Oh sure, no problem.
You know, he is like got lightning burn marks like all
Yeah.
over. He's got a claw down his thing and one down his hammy. He's like, oh,
Absolutely. We will level for you. For sure. That work? How do I... Whatever. You take this much healing.
I'll add 15. All right.
Yeah.
31 is the wound. All right. Thank you, lad.
No problem.
As you reach the tree, Render turns to the group.
Please say hello to Jandar for me. It has been some time since we have been able to speak.
Is everything okay?
I hope so. Jandar has just not come to visit.
Oh. I'll let him know to come visit.
Please do.
Oh, yes. I know you're stuck here, Render. So fare as well as you can, okay?
Douglan, do you remember during our last visit, we spoke of our plight and our inability to leave the Shattered Lands?
Yes, I remember.
Something is changing. We are able to venture further and further than we could before. This is what I need to speak with Jandar about.
I see. Has it also been the other way? Have others been able to come here?
No, it is our belief that the changes in magic within Emathan are extending our reach beyond the Shattered Lands.
And where have you been able to go, if I might ask?
For now, only a few additional miles from where we could in the past, but this seems to be growing every day.
All right. I will let him know. I'm sure he'll want to speak with you in more depth about this.
Indeed.
All right, Render. Well, as I said, fare thee well. I will pass on your messages. And thank you again for all your help.
I am always here to assist.
We go back to the
So,
tree.
yeah, you go back to your tree. 3 of you touch the tree, and, like, basically within a blink of an eye, you're now touching the tree inside of the druid's village.
Cool.
And, guys, I think that's where we'll put the pause button on it for another session.
Heavy sewed.
We will pick
I
up...
could do that with my...
We'll pick up next time. I think we have a 3-week stretch now to our next session, and we will pick up in Winterberry, as the druids call it, and go from there. Great session, guys.
Nice.
Outstanding.
Thank you, Colin. Awesome.
Yes.
All right,
Indeed.
I will sign us out for the night, and we can have a little chat to finish our night.
Sweet.
All right, thanks, guys.